Hey y'all, my name is Travis. Welcome to Travis Bricks YouTube channel. Today we're talking Rivendell. So I just finished that up last night, and I have a lot of things to say about it. And so this will be a little bit of a set review slash just kind of some general thoughts about some of the higher end Lego sets. So let's dive into taking a look at some of the things that I liked about Rivendell and some things that I was just absolutely amazed by. So just on a whole, this set is massive. I knew that it was big. I've seen it in person. Obviously, I like the Lego. I like the Lego like store and stuff. But when it's actually sitting here on my desk, and actually I built it on a table, it's much bigger than I expected or anticipated. And even so, obviously, if you watched my other video, you saw that I had bought it disassembled at some, to some levels. And when I was looking at the pieces, I thought, oh, there's no way that it's going to be this big with these pieces. Because all the pieces are really kind of small for the most part. There's not a lot of big pieces. But once it started to come together, like, oh my God, this thing is huge. But I just wanted to kind of take a look at it on the bigger scale first. And let me flip it around and you can look at the backside here, because I don't think too many people show off the backside. So even the backside has some gorgeous details. They took the time to make sure that there's no extra weird color tiles hanging out here. Very clean there. The back even has some really cool artwork on it. It has this really cool statue with the broken sword. Very cool piece. I love that. I love all the weapons in this set. And in fact, from this side, you can see the little armory that you make in the end, or you kind of make a little bit in the, I don't remember if it was the second or the third book. I think it was the second book. And then you make these pieces, which are removable, at the end of the book, because you open the weapons pack finally. But just very cool little nook down there. And just kind of cool backside. Like you can see there's a couple details here on the backside of the waterfall. These glow in the dark, which are super cool. This fun little tree. You can see kind of more of the details there on the tree a little bit. And there's just some really cool views. There's the sexton over here. And there's just some really cool views of the backside and the interior. The interior, there's just a lot going on the interior. There's all these little tables with drawings and candles and goblets and these really cool candlestick holders. There's that super cool bookcase in there. And, you can look into, I guess that's Bilbo's room. And just very cool from the backside as well. The place I'm going to display this is you really only will see it from the front side, but I'm definitely going to be thinking about trying to find somewhere that maybe you can see some of the back side of this. So let me take the model apart a little bit and take a look at some of the more finer details. So here's maybe a better look into the tower, which is not Bilbo's. Oh my God, I just blanked on his name. Anyways, very cool details. There are some sticker pieces, which is fine, I guess. I don't know. I still think for the price of these higher end sets that they should not come with any stickers. But that's a topic for another video. But lots of very cool things. And the thing that I will say about this set, more so than any set that I have built, is the Lego math taken to do some of these curves and arches and angle pieces is just amazing. So right here is one that unless you've actually tried this, you have no idea how difficult this is. But this roof is actually really secure because it's pinned here into the back wall and pinned here into the tower, and it's duplicated on the other side. Despite the fact that it's on an angle, they did out the math to make sure that you could actually fully pin the roof, which is incredible to say the least. It makes the structure so secure that I don't think I would have much problem Okay, that was a bad idea. Okay, so maybe don't pick up by the roof. But still, it really added a lot of rigidity to the structure that was lacking beforehand, and even more so when we talk about this, because it has the same thing going on. The only complaint about the build of this is that this top piece of the tires you just saw when I went to pick it up is not really clipped on there, and I kind of wonder if I messed up in there, because everything else in this build is super solid. That's just a little sketchy. But let's also talk about the tower here. Let me flip this around. The angles, the way that this all lines up, these two pieces just kind of like slot right down in there. You got these really cool statues. There's just a lot of really cool things. And then, of course, I don't know who thought of this or who did the math to figure this out, but they deserve a raise, because the way that that's like inset into the brick is so freaking cool. This is actually a snot brick that, you know, obviously they did the math to line it up with the angled, with the inverse slopes, and just incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. So let's take a look at the next section. Okay, so there's a lot of cool things going on here. Again, the roof structures are just amazing. This one double pinned as well. This is a super cool pin that I had not seen before. It's like a triple Technic pin that slides all the way in. That's super cool. I had not seen that pin before. I'm sure it existed before. I just had not seen it before. This is just a normal Technic pin that slides in, but just very cool that it's all connected. And I have a picture of this area without the roof, and the way that these all connect to not only the roof but to the back wall is just amazing. So we'll take a look at that right now. It's just the fact that it connects to the back wall through some clips, and it connects to other pieces using like droid arms, and connects into the floor, which the floor itself is amazing too, connects into the sidewall. There's just so many connection points that what looks to be very delicate and fragile is really not that fragile. And just so very, very, very cool. Okay, so I'm going to pull a couple pieces out because it's designed for some of these pieces to be removable. So we're gonna take a quick look at those. Okay, so I pulled out two sections. I pulled out the little council sitting area and the little pagoda type thing. And so first I want to say this thing is super cool that you can just kind of pull it out. There's a couple of, you just have to pull out this brick and then give it a good pull because it sits on this. And just the fact that they use this and some bricks to just get the right angle for it is just amazing. This very detailed, kind of intricate work. You know, you got the little statue in there as well. Just very cool little, I don't want to call it a side build because it's very important to the actual model. But just the way that they used all kinds of snot techniques to get this all to line up and sit in there just perfect is amazing. And so that just sits right on there and just really cool. Again, if you've ever tried to sit something on an angle on Lego, you know what a total pain in the ass it is. And the way that they do this so effortlessly in this set is just amazing. And then let's look at the council section. So the tree is permanently attached to this, and the tree itself used some really cool techniques. But even in the directions, Lego said that they designed this so that you could pull this section out and display it separately if you wanted with the council. Super cool kind of extra feature that they didn't really need to do. I mean, it would have been much easier for them to have built this structurally into it, but the fact that they made it removable makes it even cooler. And as you can see in the back, there's the eye because it's always watching the ring. So they kind of buried the eye as the support structure of the council, which I think is super cool too. The thing that amazed me most about this build, okay, aside from the snot techniques and the fact that there are 4 different directions of bricks, basically, they all go out from the center, which is craziness enough. They all lock together. Again, craziness. And then we take a look at this tree, and the arch tree goes up into an arch so that you hide the top piece. And it does that twice. And I think that might be the coolest tree technique I have seen used. Just very cool tree. Lots of snot techniques all the way up through to give it a very organic look. Whoops. Is this glowing? Glowing fell. I think it's glowing. The usage of hot dogs and popsicles to make the chairs is very cool. My one complaint, and I'll talk about a couple other complaints, not complaints, but just things that annoyed me a little bit, is that there's no studs on these chairs. So, like Legolas just kind of slides around, and Glowing kind of slides around, but so does Elrond. But at least they provided you with these pieces, and they also gave you the skirt pieces as well to make those two sit. Whoops. I just think that if they would have done like rounded on the back and studs on the front, which I know they make a half round, and I don't know if they made a half round when this set was released. I think that they did. Maybe not. But some sort of studs on the seats would have vastly improved this. Because as I said, I have to watch I don't knock the table too hard, because Legolas and Glowing tend to just kind of slide around everywhere. This table thing is super cool. I was not expecting that when I started to build that. Just very cool pieces. And while this is out, let's take a look at this. This whole bottom kind of section is sat on a snot technique. And you can see kind of the bottom of the pillars now that it was done by snot as well. And just crazy cool. Just crazy cool. All right, let me get these put back in place and hopefully not break anything else. All right, so let's take a closer look at this kind of side piece. The water technique was very cool. This is over like a teal colored plate, so it gives a really nice color to the water with those tiles over top. The kind of snot type techniques to get the waterfall pieces in there was very cool. I don't think I've said this yet, and I've talked about this a little bit in when I talked about the making the city gardens with the botanical gardens. But I love this new piece. This new plant piece is just absolutely incredible. I can't wait till I can find them on a pab wall, because I will buy 30 cups of them, or I guess they're boxes now. But anyways, they're just so useful, and they look so good. But anyways, some more glow-in-the-dark things. This tree is very cool. I love the sand like green limb pieces. The tiles kind of stuck in between the studs adds a nice effect. The cool little cave that's built on this angle, which is the Armory, is very cool. And the little, oops, I got the lantern turned up. The little Armory section over here with the little forge, an anvil. Just another very cool tree. Just very cool. However, the coolest thing you don't even really see. This pagoda, I don't know what to call it. Anyways, this thing is a masterpiece in and of itself. Like, this could have been a set just like by itself, and I would have been fine with it. Okay? So first off, you got snot techniques just like this one and just like this one to build the base, to get that rounded shape. That's the only way that you're going to get a round shape out of Lego, is to do snot techniques going all 4 directions, okay? So first off, there's snot going in all 4 directions, which is incredible. And then you have these tower pieces stuck all the way around. And then it goes up, and just this top piece is just so elaborate. There's so many different connection points and different types of pieces and stuff. But the coolest thing is actually hidden underneath. And I'm going to try to carefully pull this out. And let's see if we can take a look at the bottom side of it. So, pulls out so you can get into the Armory. But the coolest thing, and hopefully the little table thing doesn't fall off, is the bottom side of this. Look at this bottom. So, obviously the Technic pieces are the little off branches hold part of the upper structure. So that's where the pins come down for the upper structure. But when you put this together, you just kind of slide it all together and it all just kind of fits. And it's just incredible. You can see there's pin techniques to hold the snot pieces together. And Lego actually says in the direction books that this is the part that they struggle with the most as far as the geometry, which I call Lego math. But just absolutely stunningly well done Lego math on this one. Just, it kind of is a work of art. Like, I almost want to kind of like to just show this part because it's so cool. And then, of course, you have the intricacies of this on top. And you can see that it's very stable. The fact that I could grab it by the top, which went better than when I grabbed the tower section by its roof. But you can see the whole thing is very, very, very stable. And for something that looks so delicate and fragile, to be able to just kind of grab it is just crazy cool. Okay, so I'm going to put this back together. And I'll talk about just a couple things that I wish that they might have done and that I may do as kind of an add-on. Okay, so I have basically two, I'm going to call them complaints, but they're really kind of minor things that don't really affect this as a whole. But the two things that I wish that they would have done is, okay, so I always build the sets at the end, like the picture at the end of the book, especially if they are a display set. That's how I display it, is how it's pictured at the end of the instruction books. That goes for modulars for the most part, anything that's kind of a display type piece. So they show, seated, standing with the hammer, seated, but they just show these 4 figs just kind of like off to the side here with nothing attached to them. So I wish that they would have just done a little bit of something over here. Like just, and curved would have been super cool, but even just kind of, just something to kind of finish off this side, because there's just steps down to like nothing, right? Like just a little bit of platage here, I think would have gone a really long way and would have gave me somewhere to put these guys, you know? So I think at some point I might just add a little bit of platage on this side, just to finish off the model, I feel like, you know? Just somewhere to put the couple little hobbits and, is this Boromir? I'm a little rusty on my Lord of the Rings, which I love Lord of the Rings. I'm just a little rusty on it, especially on the names. But I just wish that there was just something over here for me to be able to plate these guys, to be able to display them. Because, like, they don't really fit with the, like, the seriousness of this talk going on here, or the little fun of the conversation there, or, you know, they just don't necessarily fit anywhere else. And maybe they fit, like, inside this room over here. But, like, if you're displaying it, you don't want your figs to be hidden. That seems stupid. So that's my first complaint. And then, I got to grab pieces for my second complaint. So hold on one second. Okay, so again, this might be a problem with just me displaying them the way that they show them being displayed. But I don't, they obviously give you the parts to do this. So that's where my complaint comes from, okay? So I have the other skirt for Elrond, Elrond. Sorry, I have such a hard time saying that name. I have the other skirt for Gandalf. I have the feet for Bilbo and Frodo. And I have the hair for Gimli. Okay? So, I don't know where to put this. Like, where do you store this so that you have the complete fig available? I don't know. Like, I wish there was, like, a secret compartment somewhere that you could, like, stash these in. And maybe I could stash them, like, underneath here or something. Maybe with some, like, maybe put a couple, like, snot brick things and, like, stick them off to the side. But I don't know. I just feel like there should be a storage solution for this somewhere buried in this model. Like, there's plenty of real estate for them to fix the problem. And they did that for the weapons. So, like, all of their extra weapons, which they actually give you way more than you actually use. I think it's basically double. Can all be stored in the armory, which makes total sense. You know, check. Good. Fine. But this isn't really a display thing. So this needs to be kind of buried somewhere. And I just wish that they would have came up with a solution for that. And I mean, I know that some people are going to complain about this, but I think, like, I don't know why Gimli came with hair. Like, who is actually displaying Gimli with his hair instead of his helmet? Like, that helmet is amazing. Why would you choose the helmet over the hair? I don't understand. Not to mention, I don't think I ever seen him outside of the helmet. With that being said, though, I love that Lego has gone to the two-piece hair beard situation. So, like, Gloin's the same way. The hair and the beard are two separate pieces, whereas the first round of Lord of the Rings figs, they were all one mold, which kind of sucked. This is a much better way. I feel like they're much less likely to get broken or lost or whatever, or mostly broken. But I love the way that they've done this now. But you know, again, I just don't know that this was needed. But I mean, I guess good on Lego for giving people options. But I just want to store these somewhere, and I don't know where that is. Again, maybe if they would have done something extra on the side, there could have been like a little like cavern thing to like just stash those in. So maybe that's what I'll do, is I will build a little extra thing on this side, maybe like 8-10 studs over here, put a little like pedestal or something over here, little mountain or something that I can put all these little extra pieces in. Because I mean, like, it's cool that they include the pieces to do, to have Frodo and Bilbo sit like that. Like, it's just some headlight bricks with 1x1s, to make them sit like that. Awesome. Super cool idea. I love that they included it. I love that they included the extra print pieces to make the people with skirts, is the Lego term, but the people with the robes to be able to sit. Love it. Absolutely love it. Just give me something to do with these. Give me something to do with these. And something to do with these. Okay, so I'm going to talk about how this model has kind of changed my perspective on buying expensive Lego sets. But let me flip you around to the face cam for that. Okay, so Rivendell has very easily clinched my top spot for best set I've ever built, best set I've ever done with like Lego math, best display set. I mean, it's just gorgeous. The figs are amazing. There's just so much to like about the set. And here's what this set has made me realize is that I don't know. So I bought it used complete, right? And got a really good deal on it. I don't know if I would have paid the, I don't know, was it $500 retail price to buy this set, which means I would have never had this amazing build experience or this very cool set on my shelf. And that's concerning to me in a way that I need to reassess the way that I value sets. You know, I've had no problems dropping a decent amount of cash on sets. And $500 is really, at the end of the day, not a whole lot of money as far as Lego goes. The problem here in Tennessee is I got 10% sales tax too, so really that would have been $550. But that's again a different topic, different conversation. But you know, okay, just behind me right here is pirate ships, right? I've dropped easily that amount of money into those sets, and there's far less pieces there. You know, Rivendell took me probably about 20 hours. I don't know, it's hard to say because I wasn't working too hard at some of it. And obviously the used complete part of it adds on time to the build as well. So I'm gonna say maybe 20 hours or so. It was over 3 or 4 days. So, you know, that's obviously much more enjoyment than the pirate ships took me. I mean, I can build a pirate ship in, I don't know, maybe an hour or two. So, you know, if you're looking at money for time created or time spent doing Lego, which is really what Lego is about, is doing something fun with your time. The Rivendell cost is amazing for that. So I think going forward, I'm going to look at it more in that aspect of it, rather than just the one solid price tag. I mean, because money is money. you know, you're going to spend it eventually or spend it on something. So you might as well you might as well get your money's worth out of it, is basically what I'm saying. So that's really kind of changed some things for me, especially on the kind of more pricier sets. Um, Now, does this mean I'm going to go out and buy every UCS set or every top dollar set? No, absolutely not. Like the Titanic, I have no desire to build the Titanic. There's too much repetition in it. Um, and like, okay, so I have an empty shelf there, but that's like my only empty shelf. Like you can see, those are all full. And so I just don't have the room to display some of these bigger sets. Now, Rivendell, I obviously made some room for. Um, and the castle stuff I made some room for actually out in my living room, which I was trying to avoid moving Lego to the living room, but here we are, and it's fine. So I'm gonna move Rivendell out there. I have my castle stuff out there, and I have a little bit of Star Wars stuff, but that's with my like Star Wars books, so I don't mind that too much. Um, but I'm running out of room, so those big sets also have to be worth that display value to me as well. So Rivendell definitely has checked all those boxes for me, and it checked boxes in ways I didn't know it was going to check. So I've been kind of on the edge about getting the UCS Venator. I have always said that I would buy the Venator if they ever made one, and then Lego made one this year, which is amazing, or I guess last year now technically. Um, so I'll definitely be getting it at some point. I'm gonna wait for some sort of really good gift with purchase, or see if they do a triple points or something like that. Like it came out in 2023. I don't see it retiring for at least 2 years, maybe three. So I'm in no hurry to get it. So I'll wait for a better opportunity. Because again, I don't believe really in buying Lego at retail. Always want some sort of kickback. So I'll wait on that one. I've heard the build is kind of okay. Um, so I don't see it topping the Rivendell. And again, I don't know where I'm gonna put it. So, that's what kind of prevents me from some of the UCS sets. Avengers Tower is another one. Obviously I have the Bugle in my city. But now with all these shelves everywhere, sorry, I'm gonna move you around a little bit. Um, I can only do so much height on my city because I have shelves above the city. So I don't know if I have room for the Avengers Tower in that aspect. And honestly, the Bugle only fits down on the end over there because there's no shelf above it. If there was a shelf above it, it wouldn't fit. In fact, I'm looking at it right now, and the antenna would be cut off. If it would be right above the word daily like Bugle, because that side of the city is a little bit higher than the other side. And then this side over here, yeah. Because that side and that side are about 8 studs or 8 bricks higher, for various reasons. Anyways, so it's really kind of changed things that I might consider buying bigger sets when they come out, because once they retire, they're not going to get cheaper. Lego rarely gets cheaper once it's retired. I mean, it might for like the first 6-8 months after it retires, especially if it wasn't a popular set. But it eventually goes up. So I think I need to capitalize on some of the bigger sets, maybe when they are available in a retail setting. I'm still a little upset that I did not get the UCS Star Destroyer. I looked at it for a long time, just could never pull the trigger on that price tag. And so now with going through Rivendell and having had the same process but picked it up at a great deal, it kind of makes me rethink pulling the trigger on some of these more pricier sets. So anyways, that's kind of my little 2 cents about how Rivendell's kind of changed kind of the way I view some things. Yeah, so Rivendell's going to go out of my living room. So you won't see it on videos too often unless I do a full kind of like room tour, which I should probably do at some point once I get some things cleaned up here. I'm still tripping over all kinds of things. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. And let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. If you like Rivendell, if you've bought Rivendell, if you've built Rivendell, if you're like me and kind of waiting on the price, or if you're a little questionable about the price, let me know what you think in the comments. And make sure you like and subscribe and stay tuned for some more. There's definitely some city stuff coming soon. I finally got some parts in that I can get going on some city projects. So those updates are coming very soon. See y'all next time.